I'm Bob Rogers, and my dad, Nobel Rogers, started this chain crew with the chain crew, I should say, in 1953. And my first year to run the chain with him was 1970. And I basically run it in and out. I was going out of town for a while, but every time I've been here, I've been running chains, and brothers have been a part of it. So they got named the Rogers Chaingang because of the years that we all put in on it. Charlie?
I started somewhere in the late 80s, I'd say, when I got on full time. I was roughneck until then. I couldn't get on Chaingang. We just kind of filled in. Like Uncle Bob went down with cancer. I took his place, and we just kept going with the family.
Good.
Eric Rogers. I started running the chains in 1990. That was the year that my dad decided to basically move from the chain gang to the press box. He didn't quit volunteering. He just got out of the weather, didn't have to fight the weather quite as much. He started working and helping in the press box at that time, and that was the year I started running it full time.
So I'm Tyler Rogers. Noble was my grandpa. Of course, this is my dad, my uncles, and I don't know, I started doing it off and on in my 7th grade year, and then I was probably doing it full time in my 8th and 9th grade year during junior high, and just kind of been doing it ever since. I graduated Boonville High School in 2012, so just kind of following in the footsteps. I'm pretty proud of it.
I'd just say probably the love of the town and the sport football. This town's always backed football in my book, and when I was at school, and so I love football and loved it, and you can't get a better seat than running the chains down there. So I don't have to pay to go on the gate either, so that helped. But no, it's just joy to be down there on the field and be able to watch them play close up.
So were there any significant moments or events that kept you coming back year after year?
Just being with the family, just being together. I mean, it's just fun. We just had fun. We had the game we played. Everybody tried to guess what yard line the kickoff we're going to go to, just something to do, just be the family and having fun.
It's kind of one of those traditions. It's always been enjoyable to do, and we've always been able to do it as a family. And the whole chain crew might not be immediate family, but they're all the ones that's been involved with it. Seem like it's been part of the family.
And even like when I was gone for college, I still come back on the weekends for Friday nights. I couldn't make the junior high games, but I don't know, just love being with these guys, a family, kind of like they're just saying, tradition behind it.
It got started, I think, shortly after I actually, it wasn't called the Rogers Chain Gang when my dad started, but it was shortly after I started joining them when my Uncle Bob was there, and his name was Bob Rogers, and I was Bob Rogers and Nobel Rogers, and it was just a 3-man crew at that time. Mm-hmm. And anyway, somehow or another, it got the Rogers Chain Gang, and it just stuck with it, I guess. So I don't know if there's any significant deals brought me back other than I just enjoy doing it. So
Likewise.
I've done it up until lately. I can't run without COPD, that's it, man. I had to quit, so I didn't want to fall out in front of the whole town.
So how has the role of the chain gang evolved over the years? Are there any specific changes that you witnessed or challenges that you faced doing the job of the chain gang?
That's probably been the biggest changes. We used to be right on the out of bounds line, and now we have to be backed off of it and because they want the officials to run right along the sidelines now, where before they were out closer to the hash marks and whatever. So that's probably been the biggest change, and I guess they added the clip at some point. I don't know at what year that got added. Before that, the referee would just come over with his flag and hook a spot, but now they've modernized that, if you will, to where you actually clip it and it stays put regardless of what happens.
They come and use that for their first down measurements, of where we change set or whatever.
And that's where Tyler got his start as a youngster. He was a lot lower to the ground, so we had him hooking the clip because he didn't have to bend over as far. It's a little easier on him to get down there.
You couldn't bend over quick.
it's hometown. I mean, anytime you go in the store, everybody recognizes you, remembers you from, especially the boys that play football. Our thing is they all had numbers and helmets on, and you couldn't see the faces as easy.
The coaches has definitely been a good relationship with the coaches.
Yeah.
It's through the years, we've changed head coaches as things have progressed or whatever, but it's always been a good working relationship with the coaches.
What kind of preparation goes into ensuring a smooth operation on game day? So how do you coordinate with the officials and other members of the chain gang?
I don't know what that's sure.
Say about there's not a whole lot of having to coordinate with the Chaingang or whatever all the story we just gave you earlier, but otherwise we just know when to show up, and that's kind of like if somebody's late and they haven't said anything prior, you holler and make sure they're all right. But other than that, we usually talk to the officiating crew beforehand and kind of get how they're usually used to running and how they're going to be about things, and we just. A lot of them recognize us at this point, and they're just like, "Oh, yeah, you're good." And don't even mess with us anymore. But
the officiating crew is never the same crew. It's not never the same crew, but it's not the same crew week in and week out. We'll have a different crew each week, so they've got their own little unique way of doing things, and we have to kind of make a quick adjustment right there, but usually nothing major.
It's been a pleasure more than sacrifice.
Most time we all had an idea when the games are going to be, and realize if there's a game, if it's junior or senior high, we're going to be there. So the only ones like this year, I guess the playoff, or not playoff, the practice purple gold, not purple and gold either, what they call it, where they play the scrimmage game. We never know what that is till usually the last minute. And
we actually got more of a heads up this year than we normally did.
Yeah.
And they had to make adjustments for that because I was going out of town on a fire detail when that game took place. Didn't know it was coming, and I was out of town, so they made the adjustments, got somebody else filled in my place, and
Kind of like
rolled on.
They said I don't think really anybody really feels like we've made big sacrifices to do it. I mean, our wives and family all know that we're gonna be doing it this time of year, and it's just one of those things. I mean, like I said, it's more of a pleasure than a sacrifice.
So many people may not fully understand the responsibilities of the chain gang. Can you kind of explain in detail what the role is during the football game for some of those people that may not know what it
We're
is?
considered officials of the game, We can't yell when the Bearcats do good. We have to keep our thoughts to ourselves, and that's the hardest thing about it for a while for me.
yeah, it is hard when your team's out there and you see somebody break loose or it makes a good play. You want to holler and clap, but legally we're not allowed to holler anything. We can't comment as good, bad, or pass play or whatever, So that probably starting out running the chain crew. That's probably the hardest thing to break yourself from.
Yeah. Everybody else cheer, but you got to keep your mouth shut.
You can't comment one way or another, good play or bad play. You just got to be quiet. But it's just a lot of fun. I mean, it truly is. It's a joy to me to be out there. And of course, I'm just tickled that my health's good enough to be there, so that makes me feel pretty good too.
Probably our main role is basically marking where the first down would be, and it's also keeping up with where the ball's placed at the start of the play so that they have to come back to that start point. So
I don't know.
As far as plans on passing it down, so we
Love to see it
keep
going.
We don't ever want it to stop if that's possible, and so. But I don't know what advice to give.
Just
Dress for the weather. Because you're out there regardless of what the weather is, so dress for the weather.
Chain gang is still over the road. I don't know how long it could keep going. I mean, at some point, we're all going to get physically not able to do it at different times. And so whether there's another Rogers coming on, it'd be hard to say, but hopefully it can go on for several years. Whoever there is other people now that's helping us, and they're not necessarily named Rogers, but great friends. So whoever takes it over, we take pride in it and making sure we don't mess up if it's possible.
That's all. That's been something that's not every year, like Bob said at one point, it was strictly just Rogers, but for the most part, there's been other people involved in it, not just us. There's just, as far as our addition to it, there's been somebody with our family involved in the chain for that many years. Yeah.
And we're usually still overloaded. Most of the time, it's still made up the majority of Rogers for the most part.
It has, yeah.
I don't know when Uncle Bob started running with that. Do you?
That's where you. No, because when Dad started, it was him, Bob Dempsey, and Baldy Lewis was chain crew when Dad started in the old field, and that's 53. And Uncle Bob started. I'm trying to think. I think he started when Baldy Lewis passed away, but I don't know what year that was. But Uncle Bob took over and started helping him at that point, and then I started in '70 with him. Yeah, took Bob Dempsey's place.
When Dad started, the field was where the elementary school is now.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the football field was at the time.
But before you go on to answer your question on the next generation, I guess being one of the youngest that's been a part of it the longest, like I said, I've got some cousins and stuff that help us out from time to time. As far as they're every game, right now I just have a daughter, so if I'm ever fortunate enough and blessed enough to have a son, I would love to continue that. I would be proud if she's on, but obviously, I would hope that she wouldn't always have the Rogers name whenever she gets to marry someone. But biggest thing is I would encourage them to be accountable and just hold up the Rogers name and the tradition behind it, because, like I said, we're very proud of it, and it means a lot to us. It's kind of what our name means to the town. So I don't know anybody that usually has an ill word to say about a Rogers. So there's some people in town, I'm sure, that don't like us. One person I definitely do want to include in this whole thing, because he may not have the Rogers last name, but he's definitely a part of the family. And just like this one, he would definitely still be running if he could, but that's Raymond McGrath.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's ran it for years with us, and he's...
It's his first year not to be able to do it. Yeah, he got cancer ridden. Yeah, he's not, I think, very good right now anyway, but.
There's several others that have helped us over the years, and even part of our family, like I said, cousins and all, but Raymond definitely needs to be a part of this, even though, like I said, doesn't have the Rogers last name, but he's part of our family. So.
He's another brother from another mother. I'll get it out in a minute.
We started in 53, but this year, after it's over, we
71
years.
So we've done it for 70 years.
Basically all my life.
Yeah, we're starting 71 years right now.
Oh yeah, you said 51, right?
53
is when it started.
to 23 was 70, and then this season makes 71.
Sorry, math is hard.
Yeah, but that's what, like you said, 51. I said, no,
Yeah,
20 years off.
that's what I was.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at 50 years, and I was like, man, that's remarkable. But it's 71 years.
71 years.
Wow.
Dad,
I'm 72, going on 73 right now, so.
see, trying to think how many years Dad was actually, how many years in a row.
I don't know as far as actually on the chain, but I've got a picture that I'm share with you too. He's got a over 60-year plaque, and I don't know how long he did it after that. Which he was in part of that. He was in the press box.
Yeah, he run down the box, the clock.
But you said 90 was when you
30. Dad done it 37 years in a row before he didn't quit volunteering. He just quit doing the chains at that point and went up into the press box. He done it for 37 years.
Yeah, he said that's the younger boys can run it. He's gonna go up everywhere and get out of the weather. That's basically what he put it.